Hello and welcome to my channel. So I am back home. The technology is working. I've had a bit of a mare this week with that. And oh my gosh, I'm just so excited to be back here and talking to you because we have a very, I think, very lovely week ahead of us, honestly. Um, so, so it's Monday, so we're going to start with Monday looking at the astrology first, talking about the week ahead, and we'll do a card reading as well. So for those who are not familiar, this is a week ahead reading. So on Monday, today, we have a couple of things going on. So the first one I want to talk about is that we have the Sun trining Saturn. Now, I really love this particular transit because this is a really good time to start setting long-term goals. So actually, for the rest of the week, we don't have a lot of stuff going on in the sky, which is why I'm excited, honestly. Because when there's not a lot going on transits wise, I often feel like it's a permission slip for us to just take things a little bit easier when there's not lots of things going on, as above, so below, right? The sky is taking a break, we could sort of take a bit of a break. There is a little bit happening today, but then there's nothing happening till Saturday. So I'm like, oh yeah, this is like a big thumbs up to take it easier. So in nature, we talked so much about recently in these videos, we're in Scorpio season, things are sort of going inward now, things are not growing so much, right? It's the dark, sorry, blah, 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 blah. The nights are drawing in, things are getting darker, things aren't growing so much, things are dying and shedding, right? That's what we're seeing in nature all around us. And this is also true for us. So when there's not lots of transits as well, it's even more just a real time to just continue going inward and taking it just more easily. So for some of you, if you can fully pause and take that time off, amazing, do, if you can. And for those who maybe can't, maybe it's just about kind of turning the dial down a little bit, just not being so intensely on if you have been. And just generally not having to give it quite so much of your all, just that kind of vibe. So going back to today, this Sun trining Saturn, what's really lovely about it is it feels like it's very much about setting us up for next year, right? So Saturn is the planning, sort of getting things in order, right? I always think, Capricorn loves to do long-term plans. So today and maybe even tomorrow, really good time for long-term planning and really figuring out what it is that we actually want in the next year, but not so much about full blown in the growth of it all, right? You're just putting those steps in, starting to think about what you want, because we've had all of this death, all of this shedding, all of this releasing, and now it's okay, be slower, what do I want, going inward. So today we've also got Mars moving into Leo, which I'm really happy about. Mars in Leo is my natal Mars, so I do, I feel very familiar with this energy. But I like it because Mars does quite well in Leo. Mars is a fiery planet, Leo is a fiery sign. They do quite well together. Where Mars in Cancer, it's so interesting because I really felt so much less Martian recently. And what I mean by that is the drive to do things for me personally has been a bit I just don't have that same drive that I normally do. And now suddenly Mars in Leo, I feel more oh yeah, more Mars presence, right? And that's just so interesting. So let's talk about it. So Mars in Leo, so yeah, Mars planet of drive, ambition, warrior, in Leo, which is about shining, about being bright, about being seen, about being kind of recognized. So that doesn't necessarily mean that you suddenly have to go into this energy today, because Mars is going to be in Leo and out of Leo for 6 months. So to put that in a different way, Mars will enter Leo and then it's going to go retrograde and then go back into Cancer and then back into Leo and then back into Cancer and then back into Leo, all up until June next year. So it feels like we're at the very beginning, right, of this kind of what do I want? That's Mars. Desire. What are my desires, right? Leo is like, how do I want to shine? How do I want to be seen? How do I want to get ready to be like the star of my own show? And this is like the next 6 months of like really going towards that. So again, I don't want you to feel this like conflict of like, I want to go inward, but Mars and Leo. No, it's just this sort of like stirrings right now of like, what do I want? What do I want for like mid next year? That's really what I would be using this week to kind of think about. And honestly, that is exactly what's kind of shown up in my world. So hey presto, right? So that's really like what this week is about, is just like taking it more slowly, dialing it down, and thinking about what we want by next June, really. And then over the weekend, so like I say, there's no real transits happening during the week after today, but on Saturday we do have Venus squaring Neptune. So this is a little bit of a trickier one. I think we might feel quite confident at the beginning of the week. That's Mars and Leo. There's a confidence with Mars and Leo. There's a confidence with Sun trining Saturn. Like Saturn's like wanting to get stuff in order. The Sun is like kind of trining, so it's a helpful aspect. And then over the weekend, the doubts and fears might set in a little bit around, can I actually do this? Is this possible for me? So I say that not to sort of like freak you out, but more like if you are feeling that sense of doubt, you can be like, oh, okay, like that makes sense. I see what's happening. I get it. And just to kind of recognize it, because Neptune, when it's being sort of like squared with, can create confusion, can create doubt, can create illusion, in terms of like our own thought processes. So it can just bring a little bit of that kind of energy. So just know that we are going to be working on that, and it is going to be in the next 6 months like a really good time to like work on those shadows. And obviously in this season as well, it's very much about shadow work. So when those doubts come up, it's like, yeah, that's good, because we want to see them so that we can shine a light on them, so that we can work through them and not allow them to get in the way of like why we're really here and the work that we want to do. Like if there's something big, you know, again, I'm thinking of Mars in Leo here. If there's something big that you want to achieve by next June, you're not going to get there today, right? But you've got to start planting the seeds over this sort of period of time. And that big, bold thing might be a little bit scary, you know, it's like it's something that's outside of your comfort zone. It's quite natural to then feel a sense of doubt around it, like what if this isn't possible, what if I can't, you know. So it's just kind of like recognizing it and seeing it and being like, okay, like this is part of it, because I'm sort of trying to bite off more than I can chew here, because that's what this transit really wants for us, is to be bold, to be to be like, bold is definitely the word, because that's both Mars and Leo, but it's also like to dream bigger than what we think is possible right now. It's okay if you don't think that whatever it is that you want is possible today, but what if it could be in 6 months? And like really allow yourself to go there, allow yourself to like visualize like what that version of you looks like. And then this period of time when Mars is going into retrograde, we're going to be really called to like face all of the parts of us that stop us from getting to that vision we have of ourselves in June. So that's this week. So I'm going to do some cards as well, because that's what I do, to see how we're all doing and to how to navigate the energy of this week. Yes. Okay, so how is everyone doing? What's the collective energy this week, please? Okay, that's one. See if we get a few more. What's the collective energies this week, please? Okay. Sorry, bit jumpy. Yeah, there it is. Ooh, okay, yeah. So it feels a little bit. Some of you might be struggling a little right now. This is just more in terms of like the general feeling that people are having right now. We've got here the Nine of Wands. Now this card can often speak of a feeling of exhaustion. Not surprised. But it's sort of also like, again, this has like lots of meanings, but I feel like in the context of what we've been talking about, it's like things are wrapping up now, right? It's a nine of wands. So 9 is like right at the end or like towards the end, like this feeling of like keeping on going, but like wanting to just be like stop soon, you know? And for some of you, it could be bringing up some difficult emotions potentially. Maybe not even difficult, but just being quite emotional with the Prince of Cups here. This is a very watery card. There's something about needing to process emotions this week for some of you. And yeah, just kind of like going, I mean, really what I'm getting with this, if you look at the image of the card, the eagle, I think it's an eagle, the bird of some description is going into the depths of the water there. It's like really going, diving deep. This is very Scorpio again, like we're still in Scorpio season. So it's about going into our emotions, feeling our feelings. This has been a bit of a theme, honestly. Like over this weekend, I like suddenly had all these emotions come up and I was like, oh wow, like I really need to go there, you know? So I did a breath work and I really like to allow myself to really go there, and I like had this whole like embodiment of the feelings, and it was great. Like I felt so much lighter. So it feels like there's real work here around using this time to go inward, to feel the feelings that maybe haven't been felt for some time, that maybe has been a little bit suppressed or pushed to the side, or kind of like just like, sorry, I lost train of thought there. That maybe you've been so busy doing other things, it's like now it's time to like feel the feels this week. That's a really good use of this energy, and like spending time on your own to go there. Not that you have to like process this on your own, but sometimes it can be helpful to just like, again with Scorpio season, a lot of it is around like being on your own and connecting to like your own sort of like intuition, right? So I feel like, again, we're not seeing, and there is wands, but this doesn't really indicate action. What it feels like it's more like saying is that things are kind of closing off now, and now it's time to do that. We've also got here the 5 of discs, worry. So again, this kind of like this feeling of like just going through some feelings. Also for some of you, there could be a little bit of like, let me feel into this for a second. Yeah, there's just a need to do some more kind of digging deep around what it is that's causing this like tension that's been building up for some time, is what I'm seeing here. And allowing yourself to just really go there, again, like doing the shadow work. I would say it's a good time to do shadow work, and less so about like being on in your like kind of like business, or like, you know what I mean, like that kind of thing. Yeah, okay, let's see what else wants to come out, because I feel like there's more to say on that. Oops. Okay, potential challenges this week. It's a really good week to just really take care of yourself as well, because we've got so little going on. It's like slowing down and just like self-care, right? Take that time, slow down, take your time. Not stressing out your nervous system this week. We've all been through a lot. It's not the time for it, you know? Okay, potential challenges, please. I feel like we've already got a few challenges here, to be fair, but yeah. Okay, so this is interesting. Here we've got the Magus, or the magician, known as the magician in blah 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 in traditional tarot. So yeah, it's like maybe it feels like it's difficult to manifest things this week. Yeah, like it doesn't feel like a manifestation time, right? It's more of a, like, I don't want to keep repeating myself again and again, but this speaks of manifestation. With this being in challenges, it's like, yeah, I wouldn't use this week to try and like make lots of stuff happen now, right? It's more about the future and like planting those seeds now of like, you know, taking care of yourself. Like, what would you need to be doing in order to make that future version of you happen, and starting to do little tiny baby steps. It's not big magnanimous action and outcomes this week. It's like little tiny things, those sort of, it's not even like planting seeds exactly, it's like setting the soil or something, like, you know, it's that kind of thing. So, and being okay with it, because with it being a challenge, some of you might be like, but I want this to happen, I want that to happen, and it's like, it's just not really the time for it. Okay, best part of the week, please. Yeah, I love this. Here we have the Empress, Venus's card. So yeah, again, Venus is like, Venus doesn't like push and make stuff happen. She attracts and allows things to happen. But it's not, again, like, it feels like this is more in the context of like, it, like, what it's making me think of, this is a very fertile card, right? But it's more like she's pregnant, and when you're pregnant, you're not having to like make the baby. It's like, it's just doing its own thing. It feels like a very like letting things do its thing, and like creating the circumstances, or the what's a better way of putting it, it's kind of like you want to, yeah, like make the conditions right. So again, it's this thing of like taking care of yourself, rather like, so when you, okay, let's use the baby example. So if you were pregnant, it's more like you're not having to grow an arm and then grow an eye and then grow a foot and then grow a, like the hair. It's, nature is doing its thing, but what you're doing is like making sure you have enough sleep, making sure you're hydrated, making sure you have enough food, like taking care of the vessel, as opposed to like making the thing happen itself. It's not so much force applying this week, it's more about creating conditions, that's what it is, to support yourself. So that's nice. And again, with this being in the best part of the week position, it feels like, yeah, it's like Venus is more, she knows how to just lay back and like let things happen. So that's really lovely. Like, it's permission to, that's what it feels like, permission to just like allow things to happen, as opposed to you making them happen. Okay, guidance to navigate this week, please. Oh, I love this. Focus on what is already abundant in your life right now. With this being guidance, it's like, it's about celebrating and about enjoying the fruits of your labor. Again, it's not this action. We've got cups here. Cups is not action, cups is emotion. Focusing on what is already good, focusing on yeah, like sort of probably being a little bit more like sociable even in some ways. So there is this kind of like going inward, but like celebrating with friends as well could be one manifestation of this, although it doesn't quite feel like that to me. It feels more like this nurturing energy. It's Mercury in Cancer, this card. Cancer is all about nurturing. Venus is all about this nurturing energy as well. It's all about like nurturing yourself this week. That is the guidance. Deep rest, deep self-care, like really take care of yourself. Take the time to cook the food, take the time to eat it, enjoy it. Like that would be a really good way to honor Venus and the moon, which is like ruled by Cancer. Cancer's ruled by the moon. Is to like enjoy yourself, to like take pleasure in things, to slow things down, and to trust that you have everything you need, that you don't need to push all the time. So I love this. But yeah, there is this sort of like slightly heavier stuff going on. It's about releasing that and like just trusting where you are, trusting the space that you're in, and not worrying about the space. Because for some of you it might feel a little bit like, oh my god, like I'm not used to all of this space, and I'm not used to things being quiet, and what does this mean, and da 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 da. No. It's like, enjoy it. enjoy it because you've got the permission slip from the sky, from the cards, from me to do that this week. So I hope that really landed for you. Thank you so much for watching that. And if you have enjoyed it, liking the video is a really great way to let me know. Leave a comment, let me know what's resonated for you or just anything you want to share. And if you're not already a subscriber, then subscribing is a really good way to support the channel. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a marvelous week. Bye.